You're right, all. So I don't know if you're aware, but there's been a couple of sort of mainstream media headlines that have come out. So this one is from the Daily Mail. So it's to do Labour considering compensation could be given to thousands left disabled by the P0-ke. This is to do with the AZ poke. Health Secretary Wes Streeton is understood to be considering plans to set up a programme for those suffering from life-changing conditions as a result of the poke. There are concerns that the existing government-funded poke damage payment scheme is struggling to cope with an overwhelming number of people claiming they are suffering side effects from the poke. Also worthy of mentioning is the disabled put into inverted commas, because the media, which you can't, well, ironically you can't trust them, but you've just got to remember how they were behaving this time 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So the comments: by rights, they should be compensating every person that's been negatively affected by it. I know people who accepted it but lost all function of their arm they had it in, even months after they still had didn't have full function of their arm. Next one: the government itself should be sued. The misinformation, lies and coercion spewed by the government and even the opposition were staggering. Can't believe that nobody has been held to account for what they did to people during that time. Wonder what the outcome would have been not having this drug. How many would have died or suffered long-term effects from the cold. Unfortunately, some people had a very severe reaction. Alright, he's on the side of having took it. There's a couple of idiots that have tried to defend what happened, but they've probably got 6 or 7 of them things in their arm, and obviously they want to keep that narrative going because it gave their life a bit of purpose, basically. What's the next one? So this is GB News. Compensation considered. It's the same again. Thousands of Britain who have been left disabled. They've inverted commas as well. So they put left disabled, but put inverted commas. So this is the AZ company confessing, conceding that it does cause harm. The Pfizer one, obviously that caused heart problems. They've confessed that as well. All in the mainstream media now. We've been in the revealing phase for quite some time that the whole thing was a load of nonsense, and of course, these procedures that were rolled out within the space of a year, less than a year, of course it caused problems, and you'd have to, sadly, a lot of people went along with it, and I have to say, someone I used to work with has passed away within the last couple of days with an aggressive big C, and he's only 40 years old, leaving behind 2 kids and a mum. The mum, I would presume, probably took the procedures as well. This one makes you wonder how them poor kids are gonna. It's the thing. What the scary thing about that is that's going to be all across the country as well. All these parents that went along with it, rolled their sleeves up, complied, and what's going to happen to the kids? They're going to be taken into government care. Being told about LGBT, and we know the mindset of the government, don't we? So comments: my partner had 3 strokes after having 2 AZ pokes, and we put a claim into the vaccine damage payment scheme, and they said by the balance of probabilities it wasn't the pokes. How unscientific is that conclusion? So the thing is, I have to remember what was going on at the time. Them companies made themselves non-liable. So they actually said at the time, you can't ask for compensation if anything goes wrong because we've made ourselves non-liable. It's your decision to take it. I don't buy this thing where people go on about that they were forced to take it as well, because no one forced you at all. No one, they pressured you. They pressured you, they coerced you a little bit and try and box you into a corner, but it depends how tough. I mean, I'm not saying I'm big and tough, but I was adamant and determined that I wasn't going to take it no matter what the circumstance. The only circumstance I was going to take it is if I was wrestled to the ground, pinned down by a load of goons and had it stuck in me. I was more than content to have to go and live in the woods and not take it. GB News have run a story as well. I think Bev Turner, to be fair, James Cracknell's old wife, isn't she? I think she was genuine about not taking it. She's an extremely good actor. If she wasn't, that footage of her crying back in the day. GB News comments are obviously a lot better because it's people who are a bit more switched on. What about the people who didn't get jabs? We were treated like absolute shit. Yes, we were. We were treated like shit by the people who took these jabs and are now whinging and whining on the media pages. You know, there's plenty of people now, even as they're trying to encourage the jabs again. Said it again. That I've forgotten about the way they behaved during that period, trying to force people to put nappies on the face and all that, and shameful. Another one, remember all those bell end politicians who walked out of Parliament when Andrew Bridgen went to speak on this? What about the ones who passed away suddenly? They're not injured, they're dead. They obviously can't receive compensation. Yet again, the coincidence theorists were correct. People never learn, because they're not learning now, they still get sniggered at. The BBC is sponsored by Phil Yates. It's time to apologise to Andrew Bridgen, who's the only one to stand up in Parliament about the harm it caused. An apology needs to be made to those who refused to take the procedure, without a doubt. Fuck's sake. So here's one. I am an unpoked woman who has been discriminated, victimised and racially segregated by the UK government and British public. Oh, you would have to bring in the skin colour thing, wouldn't you? It's always got to come down to that. You ruined it when you said that. They're still recommending this garbage to pregnant women. That should tell you a lot. Never forgive, never forget. Yeah. And the final one I'll leave you with is try to warn you all. I'm poke free, so are my children. That's Catherine, the MBA. Good on you. You know. Oh, sorry. One last one. The biggest crime was Chris Whitty getting a knighthood, Sir Chris Whitty. And that should tell you everything you need to know about knighthoods. Just think about some of the people: Sir Jimmy Savile, Sir Chris Whitty, Dame Jacinda Ardern, whatever her name is, in New Zealand. You know, gone are the days where it was Sir Keir Starmer as well. You know, all these people who are complete wrong-uns and defend wrong-uns. You know, they're the ones who get given rewards for being that kind of person. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting what's ahead, because as I say, I actually got. So I was at work the other week, and a friend of mine told me that this guy I knew from a long time ago, he's a good lad, and he's now. I was told, I think it was last Thursday, that this guy had days to live because he got the big C. You know, it gave me goosebumps because it ran through my mind. I think I know what it was, and there's plenty of people I know at work as well. They're constantly ill. You know, like their immune systems are constantly down. The ambulances continue on the road on the mass scale that you see. But yeah, so I've drawn attention to it. You know, make what you will. That's that. So.